I'm pretty sure all of you are confused as to who to summon on with the first ever dual ultra drop happening for part 3 of Dragon Ball Legends 7th anniversary. Don't worry, I got you. Hey, Grimmy here, and today I'll be talking about Goku versus Frieza. Not just the anime fight, but I'll be going deeper into a comparison as to which ultra is actually better and whose banner is actually better to summon on. I think this is a pretty important dilemma because unfortunately ultra rates haven't exactly been improved for their banners specifically, at least for the general rates for each pull. And so I feel like this is definitely an important question in a lot of your minds because, you know, you have a limited amount of Chrono Crystals and you can only really pick one banner. So I think it's best that we start off this video with who is the better unit. To start off, I think I should just be clear with all of you, Goku is obviously the better unit. For one, he is an offensive unit. He does have a lot of offensive power to him, but more importantly, he has a unique gimmick, that being KO Guard. And this is essentially a comeback for himself, but he can effectively pass it on to his allies and prevent them from actually getting KO'd. So what this means is that not only is Goku a powerful offensive unit, but he also has the ability to survive attacks that penetrate endurance, while also allowing to essentially give that away to his allies as well. And this is a really strong ability. This is something that we've never seen before, and what this means is that every single unit on the same team as Goku will have a comeback, will have the ability to protect themselves from dying. And granted, Goku's the one who's protecting them, but my point still stands. Goku is not only a powerful offensive unit with a comeback on himself, but he can also pass on that comeback to his allies. And that, to me, is just an insane amount of value that we've never seen before. Compare that to Frieza, who is a lot more of an offensive unit. Right, he's all damage, super focused in terms of damage. He has an active gauge that allows him to unleash a death beam, right? And he can essentially combo into it, or he can do a combo and then follow it up with a death beam and continue doing an additional combo, because the death beam not only does damage, it also gives him cover null. And while this offensive power is really strong, I think it'll damage Frieza's long-term potential in the PvP meta, simply because offensive units don't really age that well. I think as time progresses, we will get better and better defensive units, and ultimately they'll gain the ability to tank Frieza's attacks, which does actually become a huge drawback for him. And that's mainly why I don't really think that Frieza is better than Goku in any way, and I do think that Goku is the better character. And if you think that that decision alone is enough to decide which character's banner you should summon on, you should think again. Which banner is better? Now, in terms of which banner is better, I feel like this is a much more interesting conversation. Super Saiyan Goku has a base Ultra Rising banner that doesn't really have any changes to it, so you have the horrible rates on top of a horrible pity system and no additional bonuses to it attached to it in any way, basically a classic Ultra drop. Compare that to Frieza, obviously being the less attractive character here, possibly to people like Goresh and other Frieza fans out there, which I'm sure there are a lot of you out there. Obviously, this banner has been made a lot more enticing because the second step of the Ultra Rising banner has actually been modified to instead give triple Ultra rates as opposed to the regular double Ultra rates, and this is pretty huge, right? Because obviously, at the absolute core of it, Frieza got me stuttering here. At the absolute core of it, Ultra rates are obviously really bad, but jumping from double to triple is pretty significant, as small as it may be. But on top of that, Frieza also has a special event held for him, where if you essentially do this event, you get extra multi-Z power for him, which is crazy, right? Because this event, you need to know that this event is one-sided. You get Z power for Frieza, but you don't get Z power for Goku for this event. So by pulling Frieza, and I'm pretty sure you actually need Frieza to get it, or maybe not, but it is in the form of multi-Z power, so you need to own the character first before you can actually give the character the extra Z power from that event. And so, the game is essentially giving you a lot of reasons to summon for Frieza first. Not only does he have like better rates on his banner overall, right, across all of the steps, because in large part it's the same as Goku's banner. The only difference is that in his second step, Frieza has triple rates as opposed to double rates, which is pretty huge. And it's a pretty significant difference when you're comparing it to Goku's banner, which is just a base Ultra Rising banner with no changes to it. Add on top of that the fact that Frieza has a special event attached to him, and him specifically, that allows you to get multi-Z power for him, which you can then tack on to the character once you actually pull him from his banner. I think that gives Frieza the edge when it comes to an economic standpoint, right? Because while Goku is the much stronger unit, people who complain about rates and how difficult it is to acquire Ultras will have a much easier time actually building up Frieza compared to Goku. So whose banner is better? Obviously Frieza's. And which character is easier to build up? I'd say Frieza as well. And so to wrap up this quick video, I think I'm going to bring the question back to all of you. Who do you think is the better Ultra to pull on? I mean, I'm personally going to go for Goku, right? Because I'm not super enticed by the whole like Frieza campaign here, essentially. Basically buffing him to high hell, not in terms of the character, but more in terms of his actual banner, as well as the events that support him and allow him to become more accessible at a higher limit break level. This is obviously like pretty much a misdirect, I feel like, from the devs. It's obviously very clearly a way for them to kind of buff the popularity of the character and for people to essentially focus on Frieza first. But I think that I can see through it. It's very clearly a distraction, and Goku is clearly the better character. And in practice, and I'm obviously making this judgment based on paper, I think Frieza, in terms of his combo potential, will actually be really damn strong. Even with the long combo penalty that's currently applied in the game, I feel like him having the ability to just gain constant cover null on top of him just having like a lot of cards and endurance, by the way, I do feel like Frieza is going to be a meta character as well, right? That doesn't discount or take anything away from Frieza. It's just that I have better faith in Goku as a character who can essentially protect all of his allies from ever dying. And that, to me, is just such an insane amount of value. Add on top of that the fact that he's not a support character, and he can actually hold his own when it comes to being a DPS unit. And so yeah, I'm personally more of a guy who's leaning more to summoning on Goku. And so yeah, I mean, I'll probably focus on Goku's banner first. But what about you? Let me know in the comment section down below whose banner you're going to be summoning on. Is it more because you're a fan of the character, or is it because the events and banner modifications actually persuaded you to pick a different character? And so once again, just to sum it up, Goku is the better unit, but Frieza is going to be much easier to pull and build up. And yeah, I think that's going to do it for this video. Bye, thanks for watching, never stay perfect, always get better. Peace.